The U.S. Coast Guard is currently conducting an investigation into the devastating implosion that resulted in the loss of all 5 lives aboard the Titan submersible. According to expert submariners, this tragic event could have been prevented if the Navy's design principles had been adhered to.
The victims of the disaster were reportedly told not to drink coffee on the morning of the fateful dive and were asked to load their favorite songs to be played on a Bluetooth speaker, although the chief executive of the firm that owned the vessel banned country music.
During the dive, the victims would have only seen bioluminescent sea creatures through the 21-inch porthole on the way down to the Titanic wreckage, as the floodlights were turned off until the submersible reached the seabed to save battery. Today, we have an exciting video as we recently got our hands on a leaked transcript that has everyone buzzing, and we can't wait to share the details with you. But before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our captivating content.
Alright, let's jump right in and uncover the shocking revelations hidden within this leaked Titan sub transcript. According to the unverified script, the conversations purportedly disclose the last words exchanged between an individual on board the sub, potentially OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, and the team aboard the mothership, the Polar Prince. These communications have sparked various concerns, primarily because they suggest that the passengers were aware of problems with the vessel approximately 18 minutes prior to the catastrophic implosion.
The transcript reveals the submarine's descent towards the Titanic shipwreck, but concerns arise about the speed of the descent. As the submarine continues its descent, it surpasses expected depths, indicating a fast descent rate. Troubles arise as an alarm from the real-time monitoring system is noted, leading to a reduction in velocity and an early arrival near the Titanic site. We have made several enhancements to ensure clarity for our viewers. The dialogue begins at 7:52 a.m. when the ship tells the Titan's 5 passengers that they're clear for descent down to the Titanic.
Sub, good morning, Polar Prince. It's 7:52 a.m. and we're clear for descent. Ready to enjoy the ride?
Polar Prince, absolutely. We're all set for an exciting dive. Let's make the most of it.
Sub, all right. It's 7:54 a.m. and we're descending now.
Polar Prince, understood. Have a safe descent.
Sub, launch sequence is complete. Are we ready to proceed? It's 7:58 a.m.
Polar Prince, all clear. We're good to go. Proceed as planned.
Sub, all right. We're proceeding with the dive. It's 8:01 a.m.
Polar Prince, fantastic. Enjoy the dive, gentlemen.
Sub, it's 8:19 a.m. We're now 15 minutes into the dive. Can you provide the current depth and request a systems check, please?
Polar Prince, certainly. Take your time and let me know when you're ready.
Sub, systems check complete at 8:21 a.m. Everything looks good. All lights are green, and we're at a depth of 756. Proceeding as planned.
Polar Prince, great. Thanks for the update. Keep up the good work. Polar Prince, it's 8:34 a.m., and we're now 30 minutes into the dive. Can you give us an update?
Sub, absolutely. All systems are functioning normally. We're in good shape and continuing our descent as planned.
Polar Prince, superb. Keep up the excellent work. Polar Prince, it's 8:49 a.m., and we've passed the 45-minute mark. Could you please confirm the current depth and the status of the descent?
Sub, at 8:51 a.m., our depth is 1,934. All systems are stable, and the descent is proceeding as planned. The crew is in high spirits.
Polar Prince, excellent. You're doing a fantastic job down there. Polar Prince, it's 9:01 a.m. now, marking the hour mark of the dive.
Sub, all is smooth sailing here. We're enjoying the experience.
Polar Prince, that's great to hear. Keep up the good work. Polar Prince, it's 9:15 a.m. and you've reached 75 minutes into the dive. Could you provide an update on the depth, status, and any adjustments in velocity?
Sub, at 9:17 a.m., we're all under control. Depth is at 2,960, and no adjustments are needed. We're enjoying the ride as planned.
Polar Prince, understood. Keep up the good work and enjoy the journey.
Sub, we've just noted an alarm from the RTM system at 9:28 a.m.
We're reducing velocity and descending to a depth of 3,433.
Polar Prince, I understand the situation. Do we need to initiate an ascent?
Sub, unfortunately, we're experiencing no change in thrust, and the rate of descent is increasing. We're currently at a depth of 35. I'm going to release the ballast now.
Polar Prince, agreed. Release the ballast as planned.
Sub, at 9:32 a.m. there's been no improvement. We're preparing to jettison the frame.
Polar Prince, affirmative. Please update us when you can. How are the RTM indicators looking?
Sub, multiple attempts were needed to jettison the frame, but we're starting the ascent now at 9:35 a.m.
Polar Prince, multiple attempts. What's the current status? How are the RTM indicators? And at what depth are you?
Sub, we're experiencing a crackling sound at the aft section at 9:38 a.m.
Sub, there is no indication of the source, and the RTM indicators show a negative status at 9:40 a.m.
Polar Prince, understood. Please try to run diagnostics. Begin ascending slowly. Have the sound subsided? And what's the status of the global RTM alert?
Sub, we're trying to run diagnostics while ascending, but it's progressing very slowly. The sounds have subsided, and the global RTM alert is active, showing all red at 9:42 a.m.
Polar Prince, understood. Are there any error codes? Can you provide the current depth and ascent rate?
Sub, as of 9:43 a.m., we're in a slow ascent with a predicted quarter of the speed. It's unclear why the rate is smaller than expected, and there are no indicators to explain it. We're currently at a depth of 3,476, aiming for the surface.
Polar Prince, we're discussing the situation with the engineer. Please stand by. Polar Prince, at 9:45 a.m., please update us on the depth and current status. What's the wattage on the upwards thrust?
Sub, we're reading red on the A power bus, so I switched to B power. At 3,457 meters, we're still experiencing additional sounds from the aft section.
Polar Prince, understood. Continue with the ascent. I'm in communication with Carlos regarding the power bus situation. Stand by. Polar Prince, at 9:48 a.m., we're activating recovery procedures. Carlos is requesting the wattage output from bus B. Please provide a status update, including the velocity of ascent. Polar Prince, it seems we're having trouble receiving your updates. Please provide an update as soon as you can. Polar Prince, at 9:51 a.m., we need a status and depth report. Polar Prince, at 9:53 a.m., we require a response with your status and depth. Carlos is also requesting a wattage update on the thrusters. Polar Prince, we're unable to read your updates. We're initiating the movement to recovery coordinates. Please report if you're able to read. Polar Prince, please respond if you're able at 9:57 a.m.
The transcript ends at 9:57 a.m. with a final plea from the ship, please respond if you're able. Viewers have responded by sharing their distress at the prospect of what the 5 Titan passengers would have gone through. They knew they were in trouble. Imagine the sense of helplessness. Listening to the noises must have been awful, one wrote. Maybe they didn't suffer, but mentally they knew something was wrong, commented another. Others questioned the extensive rescue efforts that occurred after the sub went missing. with a number suggesting authorities knew they would never find the passengers alive. However, it is important to note that without official confirmation or reliable sources, the accuracy and contents of the transcript cannot be verified. To obtain accurate and up-to-date information about the incident, it is advisable to rely on trustworthy news sources or official statements.